Today, I'm talking to the coaches. I'm talking to those of you who had that moment where you found coaching and the world opened up and it seemed like everything made sense in a new way. Maybe it was this is who I am, this is what I'm going to do, this is like who I'm going to be. Maybe it was, oh my god, I can't do anything else with this. Or maybe it was like I'm going to add this to my life whatever way I can. I don't know what that initial hit was for you, but what I want you to know is that if you had it, that you're a coach, that there's something here for you, and that you can be a successful coach with these tools in your bones walking down the street. You do not have to create a business. You do not have to be called a coach at work. You're a coach, and you can have that and you can own it and you can claim it. The same way that anyone can say they're a coach even if they're not, right? Unregulated, total freedom. But there's a group of coaches that I care about especially. And that's those of us who are here to do this work and identify as coaches and just want to coach, but also have to run a business around it because if we don't, we actually can't make a livable wage. Unless we're internally coaching, right? There's a lot of ways to do coaching out there that don't pay very well. You know, like a lot of the contract coaching gigs that I see aren't paying much, especially if you're working for yourself and you're paying for your own benefits and you're paying for your own everything. You're paying your own taxes, right? They're not paying the loaded hourly rate that they would an employee because they're taking care of you. Contract coaching isn't cutting it for a lot of people. For some people who have multiple incomes, it works and that's fantastic. And, you know, lucky for that business that they have access to you. But for me, as a primary breadwinner, I needed this business to work. I remember there was this moment I had my brand newborn baby's butt in my hand, sitting on my shoulder, and I was wrapping up my website because as soon as she was born, I knew that this wasn't a hobby anymore. I had to make this thing work because I loved it enough that I knew working for someone else and doing a different kind of job wasn't going to cut it for me. And that what I had created so far in my business wasn't enough to sustain my family and I. So, you know, years ago, I went to work at making it happen. And I have had a multiple six-figure business for, I don't know how many years, five, 5 or 6. And what that means is I'm able to have a business, take care of myself, put some money into retirement, do what I want to do, take care of my family. And that's what I want for the coaches whose lives look kind of like mine. Um, but really the thing behind the thing is it's how do we create sustainability for the actual life you have? Maybe you're not the primary breadwinner, but you don't want to do anything else. You can have a business that's sustainable and successful for you. Maybe you have a part-time job and you want to coach on the side and 3 clients is fully booked and you want to figure out how do I create this sustainable, successful business for me? There are as many ways for this to look as there are coaches on the planet. And one of my superpowers is meeting you where you are, understanding who you are, how you work, what works well, and helping you create a business around that. One that serves not only you and your clients, but also your family, your life, your community. Because I think if we look around, it's pretty easy to tell that small businesses are really one of the things that's moving the good stuff forward in so many places. Empowered small business owners do huge work in communities, and I want to be a part of helping folks with that. So if you were meant to coach, you can do this. And my primary objective is helping people who know that they're meant to be here and meant to do this find ways that work for them. And I'm recently just wrapping up it'll be available as you're listening to this podcast. I'll have it in the show notes. A new tool for you that I want you to have. It's all about 5 ways to actually make your coaching your marketing. So 5 ways where you can take the thing that you are, the thing that you excel at, the thing that you're very skilled at, that most people never see or feel because we work in the invisible arts behind closed doors with our clients, and we bring it from backstage to front stage. So what I know is if you were meant to coach, then your people need to feel you coaching, see you coaching, and hear you coaching. And this whole thing is just some really easy ways for you to bring that backstage work to the front stage. And I want you to know too that you don't have to scale to 7 figures. You can be a great coach and never hit 7 figures in a single year. That's totally okay. You don't have to do that. You don't have to have a perfect funnel. You can have a non-existent funnel and still have a successful business. You don't have to create the top 5 ways that X, Y, or Z, the perfect listicle, the thing that will go viral on Instagram. You don't have to have any of that stuff to have a successful business that works for you in your life. What you do need to have is a plan that works for you and a commitment to it. And what I've been finding is there's a lot of folks out there who know a lot of tactics, a lot of business tactics that they've gone to a webinar and learned or heard somebody speak about or picked up reading a business book. There's so many tactics and they're so great. But the question for me is, and what I'm noticing when I'm talking to people who don't have the business growth kind of strategy knowledge baked in, is it's just tactic after tactic after tactic, and people are exhausted because it is exhausting to just go from one, now I got to start the podcast. Now I got to get on YouTube. Now we're going to figure out the algorithm on Pinterest. None of those things actually matter unless they move the needle for you. And you can have a coaching business without a podcast, and you can have a coaching business and never be on social media, and you can have a coaching business so many different ways. But if you're layering tactic after tactic after tactic and burning yourself out, my fear is that we will lose you. And I am interested in keeping you in this with me. I am interested in you being out here shoulder to shoulder with the rest of us doing this work that's really helping people. And if you are burning out because marketing is hard or you don't know how to do it and business strategy just isn't your thing, then that's what we're at risk of. And that's the biggest bummer for me is, when you've been watching this industry for 14 plus years, you just see people come and go. You see people rise up and burn out and fall away. And you see people go get jobs, and there's no wrong way to do this. It's okay to be a coach, go into business for yourself, realize I actually don't want a business. I've helped people get there. I am a business coach for coaches. I have helped coaches hang it up because it wasn't right for them. And that is a beautiful thing too. It's easier to see it sometimes when you can do these different business math problems with folks. So I want you to know that you can do it if you want to do it and if it's meant for you. And if it's not, it's okay to move on. And if you feel like you're doing tactic after tactic after tactic and you want help with strategy, I can help, because I do want you to stick with this if this is what you're here for. And I just want to say hi and give all of my coaches who are here, who know they're meant to coach, who just want to coach, you can do your business that way. There are ways for you to do your business that way, where your client generation strategies are you being a coach. So go ahead, get in the show notes, grab that freebie, go through it, hit me up, tell me what you're going to do, because I want to hear what you're going to put in place because you have it. But just know this, you can be on the internet and social media for an entire day watching nothing but business growth strategy, information that can just be coming at your face all day long. And there might not be a single thing in there that is actually the right next thing for you. And it matters because we have limited time and energy. And it's important to me for you to do the right next thing for you, not just to do the next thing that you saw, because you don't have enough energy for that. I don't. I need to be doing the next right thing. I need to know what's going to move the needle for me right now and focus on that thing. That's what I help people do. What's the right next thing? How can you focus? How can we stay the course and stay committed to what we know is going to work and leave everything else behind? That's the gold here, is on the other side of knowing what your strategy is, your true strategy, your way, there's peace, because shiny objects are no longer shiny when you know what you're doing. It's great. It just eliminates a whole set of problems. All right. So you're meant to coach. I have a new tool for you. It's in the show notes. 5 ways to make your coaching your marketing, because I know you just want to coach. So why don't we take that and use it to help you bring in the clients that you're here to work with? Thank you for being here on the Remarkable Life podcast. I will see you soon. Don't forget to subscribe and share this episode with a friend who needs that tool that I'm sharing. Somebody who is your coaching bestie definitely needs to know how they can just make coaching their marketing. All right. Talk to you soon. Thanks for being here.